Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the gym. It is your guy, Boulanger. Up next, Ravens versus Cowboys. Let's talk. So the Baltimore Ravens go into Dallas yesterday and had almost a convincing win until the fourth quarter happened. But let's shout out, man, some of the guys who showed up and played a big time role in yesterday's win. Let's start with no other than Lamar Jackson. You have to give the nod to Lamar Jackson being the player of the game for his ability to execute the game plan through three quarters and then making the play with that pass on point to Zay to kind of close out the game. Kind of a 1B to Lamar Jackson's 1A would be a Derrick Henry running hard. He ran with a lot of patience. He ran with a level of determination, and he ran with conviction. And I think what we saw yesterday between Lamar and Derrick Henry is absolutely the best mix and match of their talents and their abilities thus far in this season. So shout out to both Lamar and Derrick Henry. I want to kind of bring Justice Hill into this fold as well. He made a couple of big runs in yesterday's game as well to add to that 273 yards that the Baltimore Ravens tallied up yesterday. So shout out, man, to those guys running the ball. I want to give a shout out, man, to Charlie Kolar, who made a deep catch for 30 yards on that very first drive to put the Baltimore Ravens in scoring position. I want to give some recognition to Nelson Aguilar, who made a good short catch and then run with a 56-yard pickup. And then I want to give a shout out, man, to the offensive line, who definitely blocked better on Sunday. Okay, so I do want to give a shout out to those guys. I want to recognize the complete defensive line who played very, very well against the run. Shout out to Cal Van Noy, who is still playing very well, especially having a broken face basically, and still going out and putting pressure on the quarterback, and bringing Dak Prescott down on a couple of occasions. I want to give a shout out and some recognition to Nate Wiggins, who basically had a game-saving play in the first quarter. Sometimes game-saving plays are in the fourth quarter, but he had a game-saving play in the first quarter, knocking the ball out of CeeDee Lamb's hands as he was getting ready to go into the end zone. So shout out to Nate Wiggins. It's good to see another one of our draft picks finally show up on the field and make some plays. So, man, I thought that for three quarters, this was probably the best team performance of the whole season. But now, when we talk about the fourth quarter, this game should have been easy to put away. But just like we've seen from the Baltimore Ravens in the past, and we also saw it from them last week, they have a lot of trouble closing games. Last week against the Raiders, they had a 10-point lead in that fourth quarter and they lost. And then this week, they had a 22-point lead late into the third quarter, and they end up only winning by 3. And I've heard a lot of commentary that this game wasn't as close as the scoreboard indicates, but that's not true. This game was closer than the scoreboard should have indicated. The Baltimore Ravens should have had an understanding that the Dallas Cowboys had to throw, and they had to throw repeatedly, and they had to know that the Dallas Cowboys would be trying to go deep. But for whatever the reason, whether these guys just forgot how to cover, whether these guys just forgot how to tackle, whether these guys forgot how to be in the right place at the right time, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if it was scheme. I'm not sure if it was the play calling on the defense side of the ball. But the Dallas Cowboys basically scored 19 unanswered points. And to be honest, if Nate Wiggins doesn't knock that ball out, like I said earlier, in that first quarter, we lose this game. And so I'm not sure what's happening down the stretch. I'm not sure why that this Baltimore Ravens defense, who is more healthy with starters this season, why they cannot defend the pass, why they cannot get off the field, why they cannot turn the ball over. If you remember last season, Ronald Darby played a lot for Marlon Humphrey. This defense was the best defense in the league and led the league in three major categories. And if you remember that Geno Stone played for Marcus Williams, well, you would think that when you get your high-priced starters back and they're healthy, you think that this defense will be better, but this defense is worse. And if you guys remember, I told you that the defense was worse. I had people coming and telling me, nah, Leon, you wrong uh, about nah, Belanger, you wrong about um, Geno Stone. He's not better than Marcus Williams. I can't tell. I can't tell. I don't see the range that we once saw from Marcus Williams. I don't see the ball hawking that I once saw from Marcus Williams. I don't see him covering the ground he used to cover. Again, I don't know if that's scheme or something else, but it doesn't look good. Marlon Humphrey is supposed to be healthy, but I never really see him clamp down anybody. And I'm not saying he's that cover corner like he was of old, but dadgum. You seem like if you lose weight and you restore your health and you get faster and all those kind of things and you're more physically fit now, it seems like your play will be better, but it doesn't look like it. And I think it has had an impact on Brandon Stevens on the opposite side of the field. And so I'm super, super concerned, man, because this defense, especially against the pass, is the worst in the league. And it just got worse on yesterday, at least statistically. We were giving up an average of about 280 plus yards per game against the pass. Well, Dak hit him up for 379 on yesterday, which means that average probably hits somewhere around 330 yards. I didn't pull the statistics, but if you do the average, it probably hits around 330 yards. And that's bad. That's bad, especially when the quarterback play this year has been down. Quarterbacks haven't really been balling out this year like they did in previous years. But even though they haven't been balling out, we're still the worst passing defense in the league. And our schedule doesn't get easier. The competition doesn't let down. And so the Baltimore Ravens have some major, major concerns as it pertains to this defense and this secondary. I'm gonna talk some more probably when I do the AFC video this week, when I talk about the AFC North and the AFC contenders and pretenders thus far in the season. I'm gonna talk about some more about this Baltimore Ravens defense because it's super, super concerning. And so I think that this season we're gonna have to really lean on the offense to carry this team. We're gonna have to be able to put up about 28 to 31 points on average this season, because if you look what we give up, we're giving up an average of about 25 points per game. So we got to be able to put up 28 because we're not shutting anybody out. We're not really shutting anybody down. We can stop the run, and we're doing that very well. But teams are hitting us up deep and big time in that secondary. And so, man, let me know, man, what you guys think is wrong with the secondary. Is it scheme? Is it personnel? Is it both? Is it play calling? Something is wrong with the secondary, especially when you put your starters back on the field and you draft first round talent to go with the secondary, and it's much, much worse than it ever was last season. So much needed win for the Baltimore Ravens. It was a must win for the Baltimore Ravens, and so I'm glad we got out of Dallas with the win. But I'm super, super concerned. I have some major, major concerns about this team. Another concern I have is the undisciplined nature of this team. We are the most penalized team in the league over the first 3 weeks. Now, think about this. We're the worst pass defense in the league, and we're the most penalized. Listen, please don't give me the excuses about the referees. I don't want to hear that, because of some of what we're seeing is discipline. Some of what we're seeing is coaching. And so we can't always blame the referees when we're getting penalties. I think we had another 13 penalties yesterday for over 100 yards, and which also helped the Dallas Cowboys get back in the game as well. So we can feel good about this win, but we definitely have to have some concerns about what we're seeing from this Baltimore Ravens team. So let me know, man, if you're concerned, if you're excited about the victory, if you think that this victory and this run game yesterday in the mix of passing is a sign of things to come, or if this just was a blimp on the radar, so to speak, because Dallas defense is just that bad. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.